This video is going over the April 12th assignment, which is over simple and compound interest exercise B. We're going to start off with question number 1. So number 1 says, Jan deposited $1,000 into an account that earns 5% compound interest annually. How much interest will Jan earn after 2 years and 6 months? All right, so when we first read this, we need to determine if we're talking simple interest or compound interest, so we know which formula to use, okay? And whenever we read our problems, it will always tell us which formula to use by just saying either compound, which it says here, or simple. Like in number 2, it says simple. So number 2, we would use simple. All right, but we're on number 1. So number 1 says it wants us to use the compound formula. Compound formula is A is equal to the principal times 1 plus the rate to the power of the time, okay? All right, so when we read this problem, we can see that it says our principal, Jan deposited $1,000. So that's our principal. That's the initial amount we're starting with is 1,000. So we can say A is equal to 1,000. Okay. When we keep reading, we see that it earns 5%. This is going to be our rate right here. We know it's our rate because the rate always has a percent sign attached to it. Okay. So we can go ahead and fill the next part out. 1 plus our rate, which is 5%. We cannot forget the percent sign. All right. How much interest will Jan earn after 2 years and 6 months? So it says 2 years, but we need to do the 6 months too. But we need to convert 6 months into years. We know there's 12 years in 12 months in 1 year, and we're looking at 6 months. Okay. So 6 divided by 12 is 1/2. So this as a decimal is 0.5. Okay. So we have technically 2 years. Right over here, t is equal to 2.5, 2.5 years. Okay. So we'll do to the power of 2.5. Okay. So we have our formula now. All we have to do is plug it in to the calculator. So we have our principal, which is 1,000. That's our initial starting point, times parentheses 1 plus our interest rate was 5%. So plus 5, and we have to hit the percent sign right here. Percent. Sorry about that. So we have 5%, and we'll put that in parentheses to the power of how many years do we have? We had 2.5 years. 2.5 years. I hit this button to get up here, all right, the little caret button. I'm going to press enter. I get $1,129.73. So let me go ahead and write that down. $1,129.73. But we're not done just yet. Okay, so let's read this question one more time. It says, how much interest will Jan earn after 2 years? Okay, so we just want the interest. If we remember, A is the accumulated amount. So A is equal to the principal plus the interest. All right, so it's both these. The amount we started off with plus how much interest we had is what A is equal to. So $1,129 is our total amount. That's A. We just want I, okay? So we know we started off with 1,000. If we just want to find our interest, we take our total amount and we subtract our starting amount, which was $1,000. Okay? When we subtract these, we get $129.73. And that is how much interest we made in 2 years and 6 months. Okay? So answer choice is C for number 1. We're also going to look at question number 2 now. Number 2 says, Greg deposited money into an account that earns simple annual interest. How much, we're changing this word right here to interest. So we're changing this money real quick to the word interest. That's a typo, okay? So it should say how much interest in dollars is in his account after 10 years, okay? So again, like we said in the first one, this time we're using our simple interest formula, which is I is equal to the principal times the rate times the time, all right? So it already tells us our P, our R, and our T right here. So all we do is take these numbers and we just plug them into our formula. So P is 1,500 times our rate of 6%. We cannot forget the percent sign, times the years, which is 10. Okay, so all we do is plug this all into our calculator. So 1,500 times 6. We hit this button right here for our percent sign, times the amount of years, which was 10. And we get $900, which is answer choice B. Because we only wanted to find the interest. In simple interest, we find the interest, right? So I is equal to 900, right? Oh, I. Okay. I is equal to $900. All right, the next one we're going to look at is question number 5. Number 5 says Cindy will use her credit card to take out a loan whose amount and terms are shown below in the table. What is the total she will repay? Okay. So we see right here it says simple. So we're using our simple interest formula again. So we have I is equal to, the principal times the rate times the time. So we see that our loan amount is $2,500. This is the starting amount that we are taking away from the bank. So here's our big P. All right. Loan term, it says 24 months. So if we were to convert 24 months into years, we know this is, I'll write it over here. We know this is 2 years. There's 12 months in a year, in 1 year, and we have 24. So that's 12 times 2. So we have 2 years. All right. So we have 2 years is our R. I'll put R up on top of it. All right, and our simple interest rate is 9.2%. So here's our R, okay? So we have all of our letters now. So all we need to do is plug them in. So we have $2,500 times our rate of 9.2% times our years of 2 years, okay? So all we do is plug this into the calculator now. 2,500 times 9.2% times 2 years, and we get $460, okay? So I is equal to $460. Now remember, $460 is just the amount of interest we are making, okay? This is just interest. The question is asking what is the total she will repay, okay? So again, when we take out a loan, we have to pay back our principal amount. So we have to pay back the $2,500, okay? But since we're borrowing this money for 2 years, they want to add an additional $460 worth of interest. So we need to take $2,500, our principal, and we need to add it to our interest, which is $460, to get our total amount that we owe, which is $2,960, which is answer choice B. So we owe $2,960. That's the total amount. It's what we started off borrowing plus how much we had accrued over the 2 years. All right. The last question we're going to go over is question number 7. Number 7 says $7,200 is deposited into an account that earns 4.5% annual compound interest for 48 months. Calculate the account balance and interest earned after 48 months. Okay? So, we see the word compound. Compound, if you see this word, that means we're using our compound interest formula, which is A is equal to P times 1 plus the rate to the power of the time. Okay? So again, we need to find our principal, our rate, and our time. When we read this question, we see immediately it tells us how much we're initially depositing in our account, which is $7,200. All right. Then it continues to say 4.5% annual compound interest. As soon as you see the percent sign, you know it's our rate. So our rate is 4.5. Then it says for 48 months. 48 months needs to be converted to years. So we know 48 months to years is 4 years. That is 12 or 4 it's 4 years. 4 years. All right. So we have all of our numbers. So all we do is plug it into our formula now. Okay, so we have 7,200 times 1 plus 4.5%. We cannot forget the percent sign. I forgot to put the percent sign up here. To the power of 4. All right. So let's go plug this in the calculator. We have our principal of 7,200 times 1 plus, 4.5? 4.5%. Percent sign's down here. In parentheses, to the power of 4. We hit the caret button right here, right next to the X square button. We hit this button, to the power of 4. We press enter. We get $8,586.13. Okay, so $8,586.13. Now we have to remember, we found compound. If we find compound in our, if we use the compound interest formula for anything, that means that we're automatically getting our total amount. So this is our total right here. This is after 48 months. Okay, so for total amount in 48 months is our compound interest formula. So we know we're going to bubble this one in because that's the total amount that we're getting. To find the interest now, we need to find the difference between our total amount and how much we already started off with, just to see how much interest we built up. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our $8,586.13 and we're going to subtract it from what we started off with, which is $7,200. Okay, and when we subtract these two numbers, we get, let's see, $1,386.13, which is the third option. So interest, we're going to bubble in the third one. All right, so when you complete this one, it should look like this. All right, so this is going to complete the video for the April 12th assignment over simple and compound interest exercise B. If you need to work on the redo assignment, go ahead and start on that.